right, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. A few moments ago, the Steeler offensive starters, including all-pro wideout Antonio Brown, were introduced. And they've got this crowd in a frenzy as they get set to square off with the Los Angeles Rams. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Rams, it's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. And they will be led out by their 6'3" cornerback. Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Now a play fake here on first down. Being chased out left. Always got some breathing room. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. Back to throw here. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. They'll look to throw here. Going deep here for Watkins. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And tough starting field position here. First carry for Carlos Hyde. Showed off the power, but not much room to run. Brought down at the 5. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on 2nd down. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down and 6.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Now it's Roethlisberger. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Here's Austin. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. And they'll send the slot in motion left. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
This is such a good read defensively. They know that this offense is going to try to get the ball to their playmaker in space. So what do? They crowd him and send bodies at him. And this one winds up being intercepted.
They start the drive with Hyde. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now you get a look at Roethlisberger down on the ground, and you hope it's not the knee. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Here's Jordan Berry now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now Austin. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Rams will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only the controlling things right at the line.
Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down. Time here to show you the starters while we have a moment defensively for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I know one guy you like from Miami, Artie Burns.
Just jumps off the screen when you plug in his college tape in terms of athleticism. And I also watched him play with some intelligence. Saw him at one point jump into the slot and pattern read and come off of his receiver to the intended one and intercept a pass. I like him.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here's Johnny Hekker now, standing just outside his own goal line. With it is Brown. Nice move at the 40. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field.
This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Here's Hyde as they begin on the ground. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. The numbers on the ground for Hyde last week. 19 carries, 62 yards.
And he scored his first touchdown of the year in last week's game. So now he's hoping that helps establish a rhythm. And maybe now he can score a few in bunches, starting with this one.
They'll set up to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Quentin Coples able to drop him for a loss of 4. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Back to throw. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Meanwhile, on the NFL scoreboard, a game going on in Chicago. The Vikings opening their lead up to 2 touchdowns now. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back live now to begin the 2nd quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
23 yards on the play.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys will work their weight in gold.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that.
And he takes it across for a Rams touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Rams are in for 6. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
He'll drop to throw. And incomplete here. So a little razzle-dazzle on that one. But they couldn't hook up, and it's 3rd down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
They'll set up a throw. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Aaron Donald in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
Here's Jordan Berry now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Pulled in at the 24. Around the NFL, 2nd quarter in Chicago. Early on, it's the Vikings in the driver's seat. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. Todd Gurley and the offense, they get set and trot back out there now. And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong, only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, you know, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game so far. It reminds me of when I first went to the University of Tennessee. And believe it or not, I was a quarterback for a day and a half. And the first practice session, the first play we ran was 28 pitch, which is a toss sweep. And I remember the offense coordinator saying, that's our identity. That's our bread and butter. That's the basis of our offense. We got to get that down right here, right now. I think we're seeing some of that in this running game here.
So did you not get that down, and that's why you were moved to the defense, or what?
I don't know for that reason, but I do know I saw a couple of guys throw, and immediately they were saying, you know, you need to learn how to backpedal.
Hey, you turned into a heck of a DB, though, partner. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Another carry now for Gurley. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it's the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain. Well, we're not playing. And 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football, because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides try.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty, but there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance.
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air, because otherwise it's not going to get there. So he's got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy, gives him a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side of the field and try and get up and get it.
First down, a run with Hyde. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. And a nice gain of 21 yards. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. We're just 2 minutes away from sending you to Orlando for Larry Ridley in our EA Sports Halftime Report, so don't forget about that coming up shortly.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a halftime without him, and we thank him for doing the highlights. Let's go get a snack.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete, and now 2nd down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept him on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Sharp there with his feet. Gets him a little extra space. And then drop just inside the 20.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now back to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. The 20, 10, 5, and he will score. Touchdown, LA. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
Now Myers for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded at the goal line. And he is level. Knocked down hard. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following the pick six, and they've decent field position and throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him and they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 18 yards to pick up there. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's third down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved.
Offense.
So that'll back them up 5. And the Steelers on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They'll drop to throw. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? I mean, you're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play, but when it doesn't work, oh boy, you wish you hadn't.
The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and goal, Gurley. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Todd Gurley, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Rams add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off the squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Green 39! Green 39!
On 2nd down, Hyde. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. And the Rams are going to go ahead and take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And the Steelers on 3rd down, they're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. They run it again with Hyde. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Burton. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. So we've come to halftime. It's the visiting Rams taking the lead to the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Steelers haven't played their best football and trailed because of it. The Rams have come in and looked good as the road team, and will just keep trying to play hard and maintain the lead going forward. All right, let's roll those moving pictures. Rams now on 3rd and 8. The quick pass, it's complete, and he ends up at the 39-yard line before he stopped on the play. Rams, though, would come away empty-handed on the drive. Steelers have it late in the second. Under duress, and the pass is picked off. Rams will end up returning it for a TD as they move out in front, 14-0. Offense out now following the INT. Gurley's going to shift out to the right side, and he'll go for the score. Rams lead ballooning to 21. So that'll do it for us here in Orlando. Let's get back up to Pittsburgh as we hand it back over to Brandon Guy.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. A second quarter score from down in Houston. The Raiders there have opened a 2-touchdown advantage. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Fake. They'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 55 yards.
That was a nice pickup, some chunk yardage there. Some of those big yards downfield with a little bit of rack thrown in there, a little run after catch. And it came on a crossing route. I could just hear one of my friends who won 4 Super Bowls as a quarterback always said the same thing. What route does the defense hate? Crossing route. Hate it, hate it, hate it, because it's hard to change direction when they get going full speed in the other way.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Again, it's Hyde. And he'll be knocked down sideways at the 15-yard line. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They'll run it. Here's Hyde. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Carlos Hyde, his second touchdown on the season. Now the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was capped off by a Carlos Hyde touchdown run. Boswell on now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out come the Rams. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Star Latulippe able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of 3. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Second down, this is Gurley. And an alley to run. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 9 good yards there on the run, and now third down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
The 21 yards there as they convert on third. On first down, it's Gurley. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. Now Gurley staying down. Well, let's hope he's all right. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Now a handoff looking right. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. And got him, man. It's Woods. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because they'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, L.A. Trey Burton, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Rams add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
He knocks it through. It's 28-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter. Went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense? Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about, in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one. Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's third down.
You know, every time we talk with people about the most important quality for a quarterback to have in the NFL, what do they usually cite?
Arm strength.
Yeah, that's really way down on the list. Accuracy is one of the bigger ones, maybe the foremost one. That's what he needed on that play.
And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be fourth down.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And now here's a carry heading left. He spins free, and he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gain, they can run that play on any down.
Now they try the right side here. And some room to work. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with the lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Let's go!
Out of the gun now on third down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. So both teams trade touchdowns in the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
He gets it away, and I think they'll smartly play keep away here from Brown. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him and keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got him pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now a hit and a loose football.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call. But for a second there, I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
And they'll get him down right about the 20. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the fourth.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And let's look at Carlos Hyde now. And as the numbers show, he really wasn't in the mix at the beginning, but they've got him in the rotation now, and it's proved a good move.
And that's what happens when you're a good player. There's a lot more attention drawn to you, and it's obvious that they had him in their game plan on defense, not letting him get off to a good start, but he's found a way so far here in the second half.
And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete, and now second down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They go screen pass to Hyde. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's third down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone, but sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. The running back, because he's eager to get the pass, and sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that. That's why they're able to get to him on it.
A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your number.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Devon Kennard from that outside linebacker spot. He's able to get in there for a loss of 9. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Now let's go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at about the 31. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school. I can do this, until it becomes a game situation. Not quite the same in many cases.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down at 6.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
That's a first down if he holds on, but you saw the contact. Able to jar it free from him and force a fourth down.
Great play defensively there, as you said, just to knock it free, because if he had caught that, past the sticks, first down. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out come the Steelers. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's third down.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions maybe in the back of his mind. And he's going to let it go deep. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be fourth down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Oh, the spin. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. They're all through now, by the way, in the Meadowlands. And the Giants, they wind up winning that one. A win would be their first of the young season. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Now a handoff looking right. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. And this looks to probably be the final play. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for L.A., it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll return home next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we sign off from Heinz Field.